For those who don't know me, my name is Tanner Gibb. I've been with this great company for 12 plus years. I love what I do. I'm a technical communications manager. I work in our global research and development department. So send all the love and from our R&D and our science nerd team. I'm part of that team. It's a wonderful job that I have. So yeah, one of the things I get to do is travel the world. Of course, with COVID, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but slowly starting to creep back in and talk about these incredible products that we have. And so today, should we jump right in and talk about the science of microbiome and digestive health? Let me share my screen. Well, in a second, if you want to enable me to do that, I'll share a few slides and we'll talk about some science about the microbiome and the gut health. This is a hot topic. This is an area of science that's really expanded our understanding of health. And it used to just be like, well, gut is in the gut, right? That's what it does. And today we understand that, look, it's the gut that impacts the rest of the body systemically. We know that the gut can impact our immune system. It can impact digestion. It's our second brain, right? So the way to a man or a woman's brain is through the gut, right? You got to impact the gut. And so it's impacting the whole body systemically. And let me share that really quick here. Perfect. There it is. Pull this guy up. Okay. Can we see that? We got a thumbs up there? We're good? Okay, perfect. So we're talking microbiome. Isn't this a fun topic? I love it. So get your pens and papers out. What is the gut microbiome? So it is composed of all the microbes that live inside of our gut, over 38 trillion bacteria. I used to joke with my wife when she was pregnant that, oh, you're not just eating for two, right? You're eating for trillions, and all of us are eating for trillions on a regular basis. In fact, we have more bacteria than actual human cells and more genetic material inside of the bacteria than actual genetic material inside of our human cells that make up our DNA, our genetic code. So a healthy microbiome equals good digestive health, but so much more, okay? I already mentioned a few of those things systemically, right? I mean, immunity, a large portion of our immune system is actually based in our digestive tract and in our gut health overall. From skin health to brain health to immune health to so many other things systemically. A good microbiome is really the key to unlocking good health in the body. So let's talk about this a little bit more. Friendly and unfriendly bacteria form a balance in the body. It's true. They form a balance. And I actually really love this analogy that it's kind of like, if your microbes, you want them to be diverse, you want them to be plump, you want them to be healthy because they're secreting compounds that keep our bodies healthy, just like a clean cut lawn, right? You have this beautiful grass that is flourishing, that's good, and there's really not a lot of room for weeds to grow. Or if you do have a few weeds here and there, you can help to pluck them to keep that healthy, dynamic area going. However, what happens is this balance can be disrupted, right? Stress, traveling, antibiotics, poor diet. I mean, just think about the stress in your own life, what that does to your body, to your immunity. Well, it also is impacting your gut health too. It's actually increasing some of the negative, harmful microbes that we have. Traveling, antibiotics, right? These things, they literally are destroying good and bad bacteria, right? They're creating havoc on our microbes. And then poor diet as well. A lot of us suffer from this, and it's causing a lot of these weeds to really grow inside of this healthy grass that we really want in the ideal world. And thinking about these microbes as well, I mean, they're competing for survival, so there's only so much space for them to be. When it comes to digestive discomfort, it's actually very common and more common than a lot of us realize, especially in women. This is a survey in a study that was done with over 1,000 individuals, where there was over 68% of the individuals who reported at least one or more of these symptoms in the last year. And these are people who actually admit to these symptoms. It very well could be higher, right? Where sometimes maybe we lie or we're shy about some of the digestive complaints that we experience. But nonetheless, bloating, gas, diarrhea, cramps, pain, constipation, stool frequency changes, all the above or one of the above can be things that we experience on a regular basis for some of us, or maybe on an irregular basis. But the key here is that these can be indicators of a disrupted microbiome. So all of these things, all of these symptoms that are happening, right, could be these signs that, you know what, maybe our microbiome is out of whack. And so when we think about the microbiome and what we can do, well, we have different solutions, right? We have prebiotics, we have probiotics, and we have postbiotics. These are kind of the three key main players in this area. We have exercise, we have healthy diets, and of course, I recommend, look, everyone should be exercising. It's good for your health, it's good for your microbiome, it's good for that diversity, and a healthy diet too. We need to be feeding our bodies good stuff and good nutrients, right? Um, the problem is that probiotics, they tend to be the most popular category in this area. People think of, I got digestive issues, I got to go to the store and get my probiotics, right? And you get it from different foods. You look at this list here, yogurt, kombucha, pickles, kimchi, whatever your favorite is, you go for that in the store, but maybe it's not doing all the good that you think it is. And there are limitations to these probiotics, right? You got to think about the acid environment. So the pH level, if it's too acidic, it's going to kill off the bacteria. The presence of other bacteria, do you know what? These are not friendly critters. They are literally competing for survival, and that can impact the viability. The level of oxygen, if it's not processed well and stored well, by the time it actually gets to your hands as a consumer, you got to think about the level of that probiotic that it degrades over time. Is it still an effective dose? It may be, it may not. And then the ability to colonize in the gut. So for a probiotic to be effective as a live organism, at least for most of them, their ability to colonize means that they need to actually bypass this highly acidic environment of the stomach where we have gastric acid and other things that they're designed to actually keep bacteria out. And so it needs to be strong enough and viable enough to be able to have that effect. And so don't get me wrong, probiotics have their time, they have their place, but maybe there's a better way, or maybe there's a different way to be able to better support these healthy microbes and in a more personalized way too. The limitation of probiotics is that these are single live organisms. And so you're getting potentially the benefit if it's at an effective dose and if it can survive the passage of the stomach to actually colonize, but it's one single dose. The interesting thing about different solutions that we'll talk about is that they're actually more personalized because we each have a different signature of microbes that live within us. So today we're going to talk and just touch on at a high level. This is not going to be a super in-depth science presentation, but just at a high level, thinking about these solutions, we've focused on prebiotics and postbiotics. Now, prebiotics, these are nutrients that help the microbiome thrive. So these are undigestible nutrients that go to the gut and say, hey, do you know what, gut microbes, you take some of these nutrients and it helps them to grow and to thrive right in that system. Probiotics, a lot of us know about it with their limitations. And then postbiotics, okay? These are beneficial substances that are actually produced by the bacteria. So these are compounds that naturally exist even when the probiotic has been heat treated or heat killed, so they can still offer a unique benefit. So let's first talk about fiber and prebiotics in general. 95% of Americans do not consume the recommended amounts of fiber. You can see that the average intake is much lower than the recommended intake for women and men respectively. We're actually very, very short. And you look at the food sources from different fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes, right? I mean, how many of you are eating enough beans on a regular basis, or bananas or apples or onions or bamboo? Who's eating those bamboo sticks on a regular basis, right? I mean, from diet alone, the concentration of prebiotic fiber specifically is actually very low. And so supplementation to boost not only just total fiber intake, but special prebiotic fibers, because not all fiber is prebiotic, right? Prebiotic, the definition is a specialized nutrient that is undigestible, that shifts the microflora and is proven to have a benefit on the host. So let's talk about some of the key ingredients that support these areas and why we really need to fill that gap. So XOS is called xylo-oligosaccharide. We'll call it XOS for short because that's a lot easier to pronounce. This is a prebiotic, but it's a super prebiotic. BPL1, this is Bifidobacterium lactis BPL1. This is a postbiotic. In other words, it's a heat-treated compound that has an ingredient shown to have really nice benefits. Healthy energy is caffeine and antioxidant protection pomegranate. So let's jump right in. XOS. This is called xylo-oligosaccharide. Now, this is no ordinary prebiotic because this is very effective even at low doses. So even at about 1 gram to 2 grams, within that range, there are several clinical studies showing that it's very effective at shifting the microflora and improving aspects of digestive health. talking about things like bowel movement and it related to digestive health overall. And in what's interesting to me is that when I compare these studies to other sources of like fructooligosaccharide, inulin, there's all these different kinds. Well, they're effective usually at about 5 to 10 grams or sometimes even more. And the problem with some of these other fibers is that, well, yes, they're providing the benefit of fiber, but you need a higher dose that can cause some of the digestive complaints, the gas, the bloating that people are trying to eliminate in the first place. And so that's what I love about XOS being a very unique super prebiotic fiber. So this is selectively promoting beneficial bacteria in the gut. This to me is an important point because you can have undigestible nutrients that promote microflora, but sometimes these nutrients can promote the good with the bad. What XOS is very good at is selectively promoting the good stuff. And in doing so, actually reducing some of the bad types of bacteria in the body, supported by many clinical studies. And we don't have time to go through all of them today, but for the science nerds that want to geek out at some other time, absolutely. Well tolerated. This is important because it's safe, it's well tolerated, so you're not getting the digestive upset, but you're getting the digestive benefit from the fiber. And so this is all about fueling the body, and it's got great stability. So this is just one of the studies showing that, yes, it can shift the microflora. It's increasing the good in the Bacteroides, decreasing the bad in the Firmicutes, and it was safe and super well tolerated. BPL1, let's switch gears and talk about this. This is a postbiotic. Postbiotic is kind of a new term. Maybe a lot of you have heard about this before, but these are the substances that are produced by bacteria that can still have a beneficial effect, even if it's no longer alive. And the main advantage here is stability, because when you think about probiotics in general as a category, right, they're either refrigerated when you purchase it, or after you open it, it needs to be refrigerated as kind of a best practice because they can degrade over time. You don't have that same issue with a postbiotic. And so there are very specific, unique types of probiotics like this one, BPL1, that can act as a probiotic, or it can act as a postbiotic where the specific compound can provide unique benefits. And when you look at the studies, the benefits are mostly related to lipid metabolism. So there's a metabolic-like benefit of this BPL1 when you read and research the studies here. So this is naturally occurring. It's originally isolated from healthy humans. In fact, it was originally found from healthy breastfed infants, and it's backed by really, really good scientific background where if we had hours and hours, we would talk about all of those studies and geek you out on those kinds of things. Really quick, just to finish up, we have caffeine. It's very commonly consumed. It works on the nervous system. It's well known to support alertness, focus, and performance. It's a healthy energy source. And some people ask, well, why is caffeine in this formula, right? And the answer is that, well, look, some of the gut health and digestive health benefits simply take time. Right? It takes time to heal the gut and improve the microflora and see some of these changes and improvements in digestive health overall. And so one of the key things that we see with compliance is that, look, people want to feel a difference. And this is an ingredient that is safe, it's effective, and it provides that alertness, that focus benefit, and that performance benefit in the short term. So it's an acute thing, but when people feel a difference, they're more likely to continue along with taking these ingredients to be able to feel the benefits of regular consumption over time. And then pomegranate. Pomegranate is really one of my favorite ingredients. To me, it really is a superfruit just because of the compounds and the benefits that it provides. What I really love about this is that we have a high quality whole fruit. So we take the whole fruit, it goes through a hot water extraction to be able to concentrate these active compound antioxidants that are found within pomegranate. And what these do is some of them are absorbed in the body and act as an antioxidant. Some of them are actually not absorbed and they're undigested, but they have prebiotic activity and that they can actually support the growth of healthy bacteria. So they're actually very complementary as well to the microbiome in the antioxidant and other benefits that it can provide inside of the body. So just summarizing, putting this all together in a very quick training here. I mean, supporting healthy microbiome and intestinal health. We talk about these intestinal cells. We have one layer of cells that protects the inside layer of our body from everything else. And so supporting the microbiome is also connected to these intestinal cells. That's why they call it a gastrointestinal barrier function. It supports a healthy balance of good and bad. right? These ingredients, especially the XOS, it's increasing the good and it's decreasing the bad because there's not enough space for the bad when you're increasing the good stuff to colonize inside of the body, right? And the result is it's supporting healthy digestion, healthy energy, supporting your antioxidant network. That network term is very important to me because we have all different kinds of antioxidants, and they're not these isolated compounds. They work together in a team, kind of like a team, like a soccer team or a basketball team or whatever team working together to be able to support the effects, because there's more than one type of free radical. There are multiple different types of free radicals. And so it's a whole team effort to be able to support this network, and pomegranate really plays an important role in that network effect, and then helps harness the benefits of healthy microbiome through a dual approach. So we're using the prebiotics and the postbiotics for really comprehensive gut health, digestive health, intestinal health overall. So this is something that I'm super excited about. And there is the end of my slideshow. Let me stop sharing and turn it right back to you.